We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
This system, right, that we can really say in many ways that is by design to incarcerate the black and brown men.
In 1987, Warren McCluskey, an African-American male, was sentenced to death in the state of Georgia. His crime was murdering a Caucasian police officer named Frank Schlatt. McCluskey appealed to the Supreme Court by saying his 14th Amendment was violated. His lawyer did a study of death sentences in Georgia and found that black people were sentenced more for the same crimes, showing racial bias. The Supreme Court judges rejected his plea, saying that he has to prove racial bias in his case, not prove he's a part of a larger trend.
Did you know that 1 in every 106 white males 18 years or older are incarcerated, while for black males, it's 1 in every 15? Whites engage in drug offenses at a higher rate than African Americans. African Americans are incarcerated for drug offenses at a rate that is 10 times greater than that of the rate of whites. The U.S. prison population rose by 700% from 1970 to 2005, a rate far outpacing the general population growth of 44%.
We have increased the amount of money for handling the problem of dangerous drugs sevenfold. It will be $600 million this year. More money will be needed in the future. I want to say, however, that despite our budget problems, to the extent money can help in meeting the problem of dangerous drugs, it will be available. This is one area where we cannot have budget cuts, because we must wage what I have called total war against public enemy number one in the United States, the problem of dangerous drugs.
In 1989, the first President Bush named Bill Bennett the first so-called drug czar. Today, he told us fighting the war is worth it.
And it's like the war against, ignorance or barbarism or anything else that's horrible and persistent. When you let up the pressure, things get worse. When you keep the pressure on, often things can get better.
Really?
Back in 1971, the federal drug control budget was $155 million. Today, it's more than $15 billion a year, or after inflation, 17 times higher than 1971.
There is clearly a racial bias with incarcerations. People have tried to fight against the bias using the 14th Amendment, but the 14th Amendment has been interpreted to make it harder for people to fight against racial bias.